Hey, so yeah, you're surprised, aren't you? You're getting a double review today. I really won't have the time to do any videos this weekend because I'll be helping my parents. So, enjoy these two reviews as my quote unquote newest content. But don't worry, I'll be back to making videos on Monday. I promise. So, enjoy this review. Hello, everybody. My name is Kamar, and today we will be reviewing our 18th installment of the Backyardigans, Season 1, Episode 18, Monster Detectives. And this is our last trio episode of this season, our iconic trio being Pablo, Uniqua, and Tyrone. Now, in this episode, Pablo's pretending to be a soccer monster, and he loves to play soccer. The only problem is he doesn't have anybody to play soccer with, and unbeknownst to him, he takes Uniqua's soccer ball. And as Uniqua comes back from her house after using the bathroom, she can't find it. But luckily, Monster Detective Tyrone is there to help her out. But he's a bit more experienced with this type of stuff than Uniqua is. And Uniqua has a little bit of a hard time of following the Monster Detective rules. Now, this episode, for the most part, I will say I love it. Now that I'm older, it's a really fun episode. It's really fun now that I'm older. When I was 6, with its 60s style rock music, which is really funky. Like, I know it's 60s style music when I hear the harmonicas in the background. I think that's just me. But as for my younger self, this episode, I was scared. I didn't really like it when I was younger. I mean, I wanted to like it, but every single time I try to catch myself, try to watch it, I would just run away from the TV, especially when Pablo was on screen. It just made me scared. I don't know why, but now that I'm older, he's really cute as a soccer monster. So let me think of like, so I'm gonna, and to be honest, he kind of talks like Cookie Monster. He kind of talks like Cookie Monster, especially when he's singing in the song hide and seek. He says like me, like Cookie Monster, like me want cookie, stuff like that, you know. But I I'm gonna come up. Let me talk about the reason why it particularly scared me as a kid. So basically, I guess when I heard about the concept about being turned into a soccer monster, I didn't really like that. Okay, I didn't like that. And honestly, whenever Pablo was on screen, it's just something in my brain was telling me, like, I know it's Pablo, but at the same time, it's not Pablo. I don't know why. But at the same time, it just, I knew it was Pablo, but my little kid brain was just telling me, like, you know, it was just scaring me. And honestly, I couldn't, after watching this episode, I couldn't play soccer for a long while. I couldn't play soccer. Like, anytime after watching this episode, like every single time I went to daycare, like I just avoided soccer balls altogether. Like, I avoided soccer balls after watching this episode. It's funny, but honestly, it was kind of sad. It was kind of sad, honestly. But after and especially don't get me started on that scene where um I mean, but to be honest, when Uniqua when they were finally caught by Pablo, like, you know what? Let me talk about the scenes that scared me. So obviously, I said Pablo. Anytime Pablo was on screen, I was scared. Um, um, Basically, when Uniqua, I don't know why, but when Unique was about to sneeze, I just covered my ears. Like, I don't know why I did that. And when they finally found her, when they finally after Uniqua sneezed and they came out of their hiding place, Pablo gave her a tissue, and then she was like, "Oh, thanks." But then Tyrone tells her to run, and then Pablo's like, "Soccer monster friends, come back! Time to play soccer!" Like, that unnerved me. I don't know why, and of course, do not get me started. Don't get me started on when Uniqua transformed. As an adult, it's kind of funny the face she made, but no, no. That imagery of her just transforming. I mean, I guess in my mind I was thinking like she would like become something like grotesque or something, but no. The only thing she gained was like a very ripped up, like soccer jersey. Um, it just it really scared me. Like, and like when I first saw that scene as a kid, like it made me scream. It made me run out the room. I was running. I couldn't finish the episode. I couldn't finish the episode when I first saw that scene. And to make things worse, the second time I watched it, I didn't even know Tyrone transformed to a soccer monster at the end. Because like I said, I couldn't finish the episode. It scared me. I didn't like it. Like, it just, this episode gave me a lot of trauma as a kid. But I think I got all my courage back when I was like 8 years old. I think I avoided this episode for like a couple of months. Or did I watch it again when I was like 7 or 6? I don't know. But like I said, I couldn't finish the episode. It scared me. I just ran out the room. I didn't like it. And you know how I feel about certain cartoon characters. I will say this now. I did and still do have a fear of cartoon characters being transformed into something that they're not. Maybe because I have this, like, maybe when they say you're going to get transformed into such and such, I have like this vision of they might become something like weird or grotesque. I don't know. But like, it scared me. And the second time I was able to watch the episode with courage, with some bravery. When I saw Tyrone transform, I covered my eyes. I didn't run away. I covered my eyes. But when I reopened my eyes, I mean, he was like I said, all he got was like a jersey. I know how Uniqua looked. Well, honestly, I didn't, because I didn't. No, because I ran out the room before she got into her like soccer monster outfit. And then when Tyrone, it was the same thing. Only he got changed out of his monster detective outfit altogether. Now it just became a soccer monster. So yeah, I mean, good music. I totally appreciate the episode now. But if you had to ask me as a kid, it's in my kid brain. People are saying, "Oh, it's great to be a ghost" is the darkest episode. No, that's nothing compared to what I went through as a kid. If you had to ask my kid brain, what's the darkest episode in this season or series, I would have to say Monster Detectives. Monster Detectives. Although there is another episode I kind of was scared of, but I won't. But that'll come in season 3. But that next episode I'm talking about, I'm not saying it didn't make me run away from the TV. I was able to finish the episode, but like it made me hide behind a couch. That's all I'm gonna say. But we'll talk about that when we get to season 3. So anyway, yeah, this episode gave me a lot of trauma. It made me scared. And people are talking about, it's great to be a ghost, but it's the darkest episode. No, this to me was the darkest episode. This to me personally. I mean, kids pretending to be ghosts. Like, come on, that ain't nothing compared to what I went through yet again. So if you had to ask my little kid brain what was the darkest episode, if you had to ask me what this episode was getting, to my little kid brain, it would be getting a very low rating. But no, I came to appreciate this episode for what it is. I did have my trauma, but I'm over that trauma. But I still have haunting memories of it. And I will say this now. I did have a dream once when I was a little kid where, like, I was with Uniqua, right? and she was in her soccer monster form. And I'm like, no. And she kicked me the soccer ball. And I was trying so hard in the dream not to kick it. But something in me just made me kick the ball. And then I was transforming into a soccer monster. And when I turned into a soccer monster, I was like, I woke up. And yeah, you see what this episode did to me as a little kid? It made me scared. So anyway, and I will say, the blah, like, that was pretty funny, but that kind of made it still kind of made me unnerved as a kid. But there's a lot of good moments in this episode. Don't worry, there's a lot of good moments. But I feel like I can't think about the good moments without talking about my trauma. So I'm sorry. This episode, it was good. I'm gonna have to say this episode, you know, I came to appreciate it now, but it still gave me a lot of trauma as a kid. So if you add to Axe, I would give this episode it's getting a 6. It's getting a 6. 4 points deducted because it gave me a lot of trauma as a kid, but 6 points because I came to appreciate it now for a really good episode. And this is one of those moments where, like, Janice Burgess herself claimed that, in an interview somewhere, I don't know where, that she did, like, she wanted to add, like, dark moments in the show. She wanted to, but it's not as dark for kids. For them to, like, be traumatized and have nightmares. But sorry, Janice, but speaking from a child that was really sensitive back then, you managed to scare me. But hey, I mean, I it couldn't have been as scary for other kids, but I'm just one of those kids where, like anything, and anybody getting transformed into something, like, I couldn't deal with. So this episode is getting a 6. It's good, but I won't erase the trauma that it left on me as a kid. But hey, don't worry. At least we are done with all the not really so good moments of this season. But don't worry. The last 2 episodes of this season, I can tell you, are going to be good. In fact, the next episode is going to be a howling good time, if you know where I'm going with this. So stay tuned to next time, as we will be reviewing our penultimate episode of this season, our second to last episode of this season. Season 1, episode 19, Cave Party. See you all next time. Hey, I know I talked a lot of the trauma in this episode, so I might as well talk about my good moments. I know this is, like, I should have talked about this in the review, but I completely forgot about it. Anyway, the funny moments in this episode for me personally is obviously when, like, Unique was like, I don't care, it's my favorite soccer ball and I'm gonna get it back. And then the music, like, and then she's like, where are we going? Like, I would pay $1 million to have that moment happen one more time in this series. Just one more time. Like, there's a lot of, like, one-off jokes in this, a lot of one-off jokes that come from this season in particular that never show up again, which is really sad. And also, I have to say, another funny moment in this episode is where, I don't know if I mentioned this in the review, if I did or did not, but when Tyrone and Uniqua, they're running away from Pablo, he's like, get away from her, and then he's like, soccer, and then on the goalie, he bumps his head, and he's like, dong, and it's like, and he breathes, like, that breathe he made, like, like, oh my god, that hurts so bad, like, that's basically the kid equivalent of saying, I'm not gonna curse, this is a kid's show. I'm sorry, but I'm gonna try to list off one more. Oh yeah, the little snack, and then one more thing. What is it? Oh yeah, when Tyrone's like, I demand you to give that soccer ball back to his rightful owner, and then he looks at the soccer ball and he's like, bleh, here you go, like, like the way Tyrone says is like, you're acting like the person he's supposed to give it back to is, like, far away, and the person he needs to give it back to is right next to her. So, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was talking a bit more about the trauma and not a lot about the like funny moments in this episode. But yeah, sorry. So I hope you enjoyed the review.